Read the headline, people. Boxing pound for pound rankings. A new number one after Canelo Alvarez loses to Dmitry Bivol. I guess fortune doesn't favour the brave. And now Canelo's number 4 pound for pound. Apparently everything he's done up to now, not as important anymore because he took on a huge challenge, didn't pay off. Usyk number 6. Pound for pound, but he's a heavyweight champion and he was the cruiserweight champion, but Tyson Fury's ranked above him because that makes sense, doesn't it now? This whole thing is a load of shit. But let's talk about Canelo Alvarez's defeat to Dmitry Bivol. I think the whole world just gets used to Canelo winning and winning and winning and winning, and no matter what weight class he's at, you're just like, yeah, probably going to win. They could have made the Tyson Fury fight and a few of us would have been like, yeah, it could happen. You know, if you can get on the inside. So what happened? A lot of people saying the reason Bivol won wasn't because of his size, it's just he was better. Yeah, he was better on the night, but the size played a role. Surely everyone can see that. It was fucking obvious in my opinion. Bivol fought the perfect fight, but to say it has nothing to do with weight, when Canelo fought Floyd at 152 pounds, and when he fought Bivol, he was 174 pounds. To say that climbing those multiple weight classes is just irrelevant to why he lost this fight, I think it's nonsensical. To say it had no factor is just mental. And I get Canelo's carried his power through the weight classes and he's moved up and looked good, but at some point that shit is gonna catch up to you. If you keep taking those risks and you keep pushing the boundaries of what is possible, which I applaud Canelo for, like I think he's a legend for trying to do that. How many fighters stay in the same weight class, batting off the competition, those easy mandatories? We've seen it in MMA. We've seen comfort zones stuck to by fighters who don't want to take those risks, who aren't willing to lose. I love a fighter who's willing to fucking go there and see what he's capable of. You know why? Because when it's all said and done, that motherfucker will have no regrets and he'll know he left it all in the ring. That's my kind of fighter. So credit to him. And fighters who don't do that and just talk about it, but it never fucking happens, well, Canelo's more of a man than they are, in my opinion. I give him a lot of respect. And yeah, I know there was controversy in his career, but good on him for fucking going up and trying. But the facts are the facts, and when you do move up weight classes, your engine, it will struggle to power you as adequately as if it had less body weight to power. The lighter you are, the fitter you'll be, and the easier it is to keep going. Whereas the heavier you are and you get up against someone who you can't just chop down, and you really are in a fucking fight, you're going to get fucking tired. And we've seen that for the first time. I've seen Canelo really fucking tired in this fight. I mean, the fact that Bivol's 6 foot and Canelo's 5'8", that's a huge difference in the boxing game. Undefeated Bivol as well. And this is the thing, right? Although they're both 31, in boxing years, Canelo's way older. The guy's had, how many? He's had 39 knockout wins. Bivol's only had fucking 19 fights. One thing you notice is Canelo put the pressure on early because he knew breaking down a bigger man is going to be harder, and I'm going to have to get at him quick because he naturally walks around it that way. He can carry that weight in a way Canelo can't. Bivol used the jab nicely in this fight. Always just touching Canelo's head, just letting him know. See these big shots from Canelo, he's putting a lot into them early on, and you know, he's trying to put money in the bank for later, break the guy down, but they just didn't have the same impact that they had on other fighters. This Bivol, he's just pushing the jab out. He showed nothing. And you see other fighters, they take a big whack from Canelo, even if it's not on the chin or anything, but they win. You know, I remember Billy Joe, like, it took him a while to even get his confidence in that fight, and they got it beaten out of him pretty quickly. That wasn't in Bivol at all here, because you see Canelo whacking him as hard as he can, and he's taking it, he's covering up well, in close range. When he starts throwing, Canelo's got this habit where people don't really throw more than 2 or 3, and his head movement's memorized, so he knows where to be, what to do, and he knows that people are rarely going to throw more. But Bivol threw more. And he had the confidence in his gas tank. He could throw more and not gas out. And it was like the 4th, 5th, and 6th that was doing the damage. And you can see Canelo We don't usually see that look in his eyes. And he comes back with a couple, but as the fight wore on, he stopped answering as much. People can make boxing as technical as they want. That's just about outmanning this motherfucker. You know, we've seen Canelo against Triple G where he'd answer. He'd always come back with something. And when he stops answering, you know that something's wrong. And he can talk about the scorecards all he wants, but that was a different Canelo in there.
He's going to have a harder time doing it with Bivol, because look.
See the way Bivol just took that shot, showed nothing. That is something Canelo is not used to. It must have been demoralizing for him. I know he's like one of the best champions we've seen in the modern era, but that's just not something he's used to. And Bivol holding center, not allowing him to bully him at all. They're the ones that when he slams them in, he's got his opponent on the ropes and he whacks them in all his body, you get a massive reaction.
Canelo sitting down on those right hands.
Bivol, circle, we're going again? He must have been thinking, what the fuck do I have to do? And this is immediately afterwards. Bivol pushing him into the fucking ropes, swinging on him. Body shot. Jab, jab, jab.
We've seen it with BJ Saunders, and then in a flash.
Bivol doing really well to circle out there, because that's the Canelo moneymaker where he likes to push you in the ropes. The feet of Bivol is, he's so light on his feet for a big guy, or a bigger guy than Canelo at least. And you can see as the rounds go on, with the weight Canelo's carrying, his feet, they slow down. When your opponent's feet are tired, he's not going to be able to keep up with you as quick. If you can get in, deliver, get out, he won't be able to reply. Then he's trying to chase after you. His legs are getting tired. Bad sign. Canelo's used to one of his shots being equal to 4 of yours, and that just was not the case here. And that's what I'm talking about in terms of the weight. When people say the weight doesn't matter, it's like weight in the case of Bivol, where he's able to carry his weight easier, maintain his gas tank easier, absorb your punches because he's a natural light heavyweight, whereas a lot of other people that Canelo fights can't do that. You can't bully him. When you can absorb Canelo shots like that on the shoulder and not wilt under the pressure the way other fighters do, where in rounds 8 and 9, usually it's when they start dropping their hands, they're getting beat up, they're getting broken down. That didn't happen because this guy's a legit beast of an athlete who's a natural light heavyweight, can absorb those shots and can keep going because his engine is built for a body that size. And Canelo didn't factor that in his fight strategy. He just thought, I'm just going to fight you the same way I fight everyone. I'll beat you up, I'll bully you, and eventually I'll break you down. And really, when you're fighting a bigger man, you should be thinking more like what Usyk was thinking with AJ. You've got to get in and out, you've got to use your footwork, you've got to be the lighter guy. You can't just out-bully the bully all the time. That's what pound for pound's about, really, is being able to, you take on old styles and you can deal with whatever's thrown at you.
Losing rounds are we've seen it with Caleb Plant, we've seen it with BJ Saunders, and then
holy shit, this was a moment. This right here is the story of the fight. Round 5, Canelo goes after him, tries to do one of his big hammers, bang, doesn't get a response. Bivol circles out, puts him in the place and starts going for it, putting combos together. That wave on by Canelo, that's how you know he was beaten. He was broken mentally in that moment. In my opinion, you can think what you want, because I know there's a lot of Canelo fans out there, and I'm a person who appreciates Canelo's fight style. I love watching him fight, right? Canelo's a brave, egotistical fighter. He doesn't want you to have that kind of output on him and not answer back immediately. Canelo's the type of fighter who wants to outman you. He wants to bully you, break you down. For him to take those kind of shots and not answer and just wave him on, and not in a wave you on, this is nothing kind of way. I know he was trying to play that, but it was clear he was getting beaten up there. I think that was a pride thing there of, I got to show this isn't bothering me, because it blatantly fucking is. And then Bivol, instead of getting carried away, is just back on his bike, circling, jabbing. He's not letting it get to his head. This is the perfect game plan to beat Canelo. And the problem for Canelo is now people are seeing it. It doesn't mean everyone can do it, because most people can't take what he puts out, especially at this actual weight class. But if he wants to go back up, it's going to be a hard fight. Look at that. Look at that. Jesus, man. We do not see anyone do this to Canelo. Is anyone else noticing They really fucked up having all of these girls here, because throughout the whole fight, they were doing that just on their fucking phones the entire time. I don't know who the hell's fucking these girls, but in future, don't give them front row, bro. Send it to me. Fucking hell, mate. I'll give you a kiss.
And finally staying in control, not giving up control.
Oh! Shit, I forgot about this. Round 11, Canelo is frustrated. So, final bell, Canelo claimed he won the fight. Since then, he said, you know, should have had the decision. We all should know that's bollocks. And I get why he'll say that to save face, but on no planet did he win that fight. And actually, I don't know how he would ever win that fight. There's a case for a rematch there if he wants one. Obviously, he's the king. He can do what the fuck he wants, but avoid it. And there's actually rumours of Bivol coming down to 168, I think it is, to fight him for the undisputed. That's a terrifying thought because I don't know how he beats this guy. You can't break him down with power, and to dance around him, which is the alternative, and pick him apart requires great footwork, which I believe Bivol has the better footwork. I think Canelo got a bit exposed for relying on the same thing to get the job done over and over again, and that is not pound for pound king, is it? And that's why I look at Usyk, and I think he is the one. He is the number one in my opinion. What he was able to do to Anthony Joshua was unbelievable, actually, and I don't think it gets enough credit. But that's just my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Who am I? I'm an idiot. In terms of legacy, though, that's where I get annoyed on behalf of Canelo when people start calling into question what he's done in the sport. Like, this is a guy who fought Floyd Mayweather when he was still a fucking child, practically. Floyd over here shitting on him, saying, that man was easy, that man was easy. Yeah, Floyd, you were like 36, you had all the experience in the world, still in your physical prime. That was the perfect time for you to fight this young lad. But yeah, he was easy. He was easy. Canelo's moved up so many weight classes. He deserves the credit that he's been getting, and for me, just because he loses one fight against a top guy at a weight class he shouldn't be at, doesn't mean we should then just say, oh well, Canelo wasn't that great, or he's not pound for pound one of the best in the world, or I don't know. Some people are going to talk shit now, and I think that's ridiculous. But what we should be saying, and I heard Eddie Hearn say this, and you know, I know promoters say what they say, but he's right. This is Bivol's greatness that we should be appreciating. What a fight he fought. What a perfect fight he fought. And the guy is obviously not a superstar talker and all of that, but it's about what he does in the ring, and let's appreciate that. That was greatness. When you've got people like Tyson Fury who are claiming to be the greatest of all time, and I love Tyson, but when he hasn't even fought everyone in his own weight class, you got Usyk and AJ there, he hasn't fought, and he's like, I'm walking away, I'm the greatest ever after beating Dylan White. And you've got Canelo who's literally just climbing up, fighting every fucking cunt. I ain't that. Canelo should go down as one of the greatest fighters of a generation. To me, he belongs up there with all of those greats that you can name. What a fighter. And to see him challenging himself like this, I say fucking fair play to him. Many wouldn't. Many don't have the balls to do it. And many stay in their comfort zone. And he hasn't done that. So, you know, he fought hard. As much as he probably felt like giving up, he showed very little, and he kept persevering, and he got beat up a bit, but he took it like a man, and that's what I rate about him. And ultimately, it's not Canelo's skill that often gets him the win, in my opinion. It's the dog in him. It's the heart. It's the bravery, and the power. I can't wait to see him fight again, whoever the fuck it is. I don't give a shit. He's still class, and for me, it doesn't impact his legacy whatsoever. It only enhances it, in my opinion. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm sure I've probably pissed some fucker off. So tell us what I've said wrong. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. Stay subscribed to True Geordie Extra, and I'll see you later.